Shalom, shalom. First
Shalom.
and foremost, we want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakodash. Want to give double honors to Apostle Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, and a mighty shalom to all the listeners, believers, the occupant, aqua, state, and rudeness, faith, and truth. This is just two of the brothers of the Gary Brunch Great Millstone. I am the brother Iowa,
Yeah, what's up?
and today we're just pretty much rolling in the spirit, man. I had got this motivational quote that I get to my phone, and the quote that I had seen it kind of hit a little bit. It had pretty much stated, "Don't quit. You're already in pain. You're already hurt. Get a reward from it." All right, and this is for the brothers that's been toiling in this truth, man. You've already been through seasons of hardship. You've already been through seasons of highs. All right, you've already been through different times where you've been in situations where you've been caused affliction or different things, man. But you have to understand that it's all for a reason. It's all for the betterment, right? So why go through all these different things? Why keep walking in this truth? Why keep going through different trials and tribulations just for one day you're gonna turn back and get up and give it up? No, continue to go through these different things, but don't lose sight of the what's it called, the reward at the end. Don't lose sight of why you started this thing. Don't lose sight of what caused you to even, what's it called, want to come into this truth. We understand that it's the Lord that calls us into this truth. But what was that motivation when you first came in that got you going? Right? We have to remember our first love in this thing, man. Okay. So we just want to get a few precepts going into pretty much that. Lord willing, this is edifying. Okay. I wanted to start with First Corinthians 9 and 24. Right? Because we understand that we're in a race, man. It says, "Know you not that which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize, so run that you may obtain." Right? And the Lord had already told us that this race wasn't for the fast, the swift, right? Not the mighty, none of those things, man, but the one that endures. Because we understand that when we entered into the straight gates, straight's meant paths of difficulty, man. The Lord told us that we were going to get tried in this truth. The Lord told us to prepare ourselves, man. Right? Because once you had entered into this labor, amen, we have to account the cost. And we understand that what that cost was our life, and that there's going to come times where you're going to have to make hard decisions. There's going to be times where you're going to feel like the world is collapsing on you, right? But the Lord has also told us what? That he didn't give us anything that we cannot bear, right? So with all of these different hardships that you're going through, have that peace of mind knowing that the Lord went through these same things and he had overcame, man. Right? He was the perfect man that was able to show us how we should be moving in this truth, right? I'm gonna keep going down in this. It says First Corinthians 9 and 24, "And every man that strive for the master is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible." Right. And I don't know if brothers have seen the movie Him and with Marlon Wayans, and he pretty much asked the man, "What are you willing to sacrifice?" Right. And throughout the movie, it was their type of version, a carnal type of version, but also had a spiritual aspect due to the fact it's a real question. What are you willing to sacrifice? Right. It was time and time again when you read throughout the scripture with certain men where the Lord had pretty much told him forsake all, or the young rich ruler, he told him to give all his stuff away. Right. All these different things, or what he told people to drop their nets and follow me. When you come to the truth, it requires a sacrifice, man. And did it not say, is that Romans, right? I think that's Romans. Is it 8? No, it might be Romans 12, actually. Yep. Romans 12 and 1. And it says dedicated service. It says, "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to Yahweh, which is your reasonable service." Right. And that's what we have to do, man. The Lord is showing us how to be that perfect sacrifice, man. Right? Everything requires something in order to gain something. You have to remove something to gain something. All right. And we understand that we have to remove the cares of this world. We have to remove the things that we want to do in this world in order to gain the world to come. We have to forsake ourselves in order to be worthy of the Lord. Right. So going back to that movie, he was saying, "What are you willing to sacrifice, man?" Right. So you have to go through all of these hardships if you truly want that end goal, man. The Lord has gave us a vision and he's given us his secrets to show us what's to come. But see, with all of those things, it was a requirement, man. And a requirement is what's it called? Toiling in this truth, man. Toiling in this truth, afflicting yourself, right? Praying, fasting, teaching, right? Changing your ways and conducts, man. And none of these things were state to be easy, right? It's hard to try to switch up your routine. It's hard to try to pretty much do away with years and years of wickedness, man. Certain habits that you've built up, certain demons that you become so comfortable with. Now that you have to afflict these things, it is a battle, man. It's a true battle. But the Lord is there in order to help you with these battles. Salak, I'm looking at this precept. It says, continuing on in this before I get this next one, Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. And how we being transformed by the renewing of our mind, man, through the water, through these scriptures, through this truth, right? And through making our abode with the Lord, he's bringing us through different trials and tribulations, where he's pretty much showing us different things that is not acceptable in his eyes and in his Father's eyes. And he's showing us the correct way of how to handle these situations, right? And nobody, once again, nobody said these things are going to be easy, man. Just like when you go to the gym, and when you're first starting to work out, when you're first trying to get into the routine or something, it's hard. It's a struggle, right? And off back, you don't always see the reward, the gain of these things, right? But that's where faith comes in, man. Do you believe that you can obtain these things? Do you believe that it's a reward at the end waiting for you, right? So you have to believe the same thing when it comes to this truth, man. When you're going through all of these straits and all these trials and tribulations, you're having all these hard times. You have to believe that the Lord is going to reward you, and He's not one that forgets your righteous labor of love.
Precept.
What you got?
Is it loud in my background?
No.
Get Hebrews 10 and 35. 35 and 36, I think.
It says Hebrews 10 and 35. Cast not away therefore your confidence, which have great recompense of reward. It says, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of Yahweh, ye might receive the promise.
Yeah, so just like everything that the brother was saying, you gotta, keep your integrity, keep persevering, because it's like the brother saying, this life that we live in, especially going through the straight gate, it ain't easy, you know. Shoot, it comes with doing things that you don't want to do, not doing things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes with so many different, fashions and variations, But hey, keep your confidence, That's the only thing we really have, Confidence is synonymous or is a synonym for faith, So, we gotta keep it.
I'm gonna keep going in this because this is these last verses hit too.
Uh,
It says 37. It says, for yet a little while, he that shall come will come and will not tarry. And who is that will come? It's the Lord, man. It's an appointed time. He said, though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come. Right. And all these things that are happening around us now is evidence that the Lord is on his way back, man. All of these different prophecies that are popping off is evidence. And not only is it evidence, it's faith boosters, man. All of those different times you're out there on the highways and byways, all of those different scriptures that you've been reading over and over and over again, they're coming off, what was it called, the pages, man, just like in a Goosebumps movie, right? These, what it says, these words are truth and they are life in it, roughly paraphrasing, right? And we're seeing these things come to pass. As we're speaking these things, the Lord is acting, right? And if those things are happening, what did he tell us? He said, measure the time diligently in itself, right? And we understand when these things start coming to pass that the Lord is on his way back. So this should give you confidence to know that you're not doing this for no reason, that your works aren't going unnoticed, right? And if those things are happening and the Lord is literally truly on his way back, that means that you should be locking in even more, right? When you start to see certain things, just like in a track race, when you first start running, you don't see the finish line, right? But when you hit that last 150, that's straight, you see the finish line. And the same way we see that finish line, we see these prophecies popping off. We see the kingdom of heaven on its way here, right? Meaning that what? You're supposed to empty the gas tank now. You're supposed to give it everything you got. Because this is crunch time. This is fourth quarter. This is OT, right? So don't give up. Don't become weary. Right? What do they say? Don't be weary of well doing. Right? Don't get tired of doing what's right just because it's feel like it's not happening in the time that you want it to happen. But you have to understand that it's all for your learn. It's all for your betterment at the end of the day. Maybe if the Lord came back right now, would you truly be ready? Right? You have to understand that this is a harvest, man, and that He's gonna come back when the fruit is ripe, when it's with the perfect timing, right? Maybe the elect isn't fully sealed. Maybe there's certain brothers that still need to grow. Maybe you still need to grow. You have to account for all of these different things, right? But at the same time, these things are above our understanding. Really, we just need to occupy what we need to occupy in, man. It says Hebrews 10:38. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. And what does he mean by draw back? This is that hypocrite servant, man. All right, you started to lack faith. You started to go back and being with the drunken. You started to be back in the world, doing those old things you was doing. Why? Because it didn't happen in your time. All right. And since you started to get this type of spirit, it says, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. Right? The Lord isn't gonna rock with you no more, man. And that's why when this is also where that Matthew 7 come in, he said, get from me. I never knew you. It says 39, but we are not of them who draw back into perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. And Lord willing, this is who we want to be accounted of, those that continue to endure. We don't care what everybody else say. We don't care what everybody else do. We only worried about this truth, man. The next man could fall off. It's a fearful thing to see the next man fall off too. But the next man could fall off. The next man could do what he do. You could have all these scoffers, and it's not gonna change our mindset. It's not gonna change what we do, man. And we have to continue to keep fighting. It says, I got another one. You had another one before I get this?
Nah.
All right. Give me 1 second. Let's get Galatians 5. All right. It says Galatians 5 and 7. It says, hold on. It says, ye did run well. Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? All right. And this is for those men. Yeah, you're in the race right now. All right. But you also have to understand you have to be circumspect in this thing, man. You have to know when your spirit is low. You have to know when you're falling off. You have to know when you're slipping. All right. You have to maintain, because that all comes with endurance once again. All right. So you can't sit here and let the things around you hinder you when it comes to this race. You can't let the cares of this world hinder you when it comes to this truth, man. Right? Don't let that new job, don't let those bills, don't let that woman, don't let the children, none of these things get in the way of your relationship with the Lord. Because all of these different things they could be a stumbling block into you. All right. Bear with me. Got some other ones I had on deck I was gonna get.
Sure, I can grab a quick one.
What you got?
So Revelations 3 and 11.
3 and 10, I think it starts.
Yeah.
It says Revelations 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yep. And we know that to be, the MOTB, the mark, to the beast. That's that great temptation, because they're gonna eventually they're gonna try to put the squeeze on you, through hoarding up food or famine, or we seeing right now with the data centers with the lack of water, you know, not having money in your pocket. So people is gonna be, gonna be having lack of faith to the point where they take the MOTB to keep being comfortable in this place. But the Lord's elect, Lord willing, we those men, we're gonna keep our patience, we're gonna keep our integrity. You got it. Through your how about Shemel Shah Salaki.
Revelations 3 and 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Yeah, and that's this truth, and everything that we learned in it, So just like you said, don't let your woman, kids, job, whoever it be, take your crown, even yourself. Because you could get pretty much engulfed, with the world, without even noticing it. Just because you just trying to make it to the next day, you know.
Mm-hmm. Man, I just had something. I just lost it. It says, you was done with that? Oh, you want me to keep going?
That was it.
I'm gonna get 2 Timothy 2 and 3 based off what you just said. It says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Hamashiach. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier." And a thing that just popped out is that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right? You have to understand, we no longer care about people's feelings of this world. We still love them, but we understand that they're not going to understand the true sacrifice of what we're making right now. They're not going to understand the direness of the situation, right? But the Lord has given us the eyesight to see, man. The Lord has given us that understanding of the direness of the situation, man. So that's why we're more focused on pleasing Him rather than pleasing men. All right. So it's important that we're not entangling ourselves with the affairs of this world, because the affairs of this world, they're going to pass away, man. All the things that are so heavy on you right now, it's only temporary. Right. And why worry about something that's temporary and lose out on something that's eternal? All right. It's not worth it, man. It's not a good exchange. It's not a good trade off. Okay. So it's important that you don't entangle yourself with any of the things that's of this world, man, because in the day, these are all different things. It's just like in the movie on The Matrix. It said, look around you. All of those different things was just agents. Agents waiting to be activated in order to try to hinder you from that relationship with the Lord. But you have to be wise enough to see these things so that it doesn't hinder you. I got another one if you don't got one.
Nah, you got it. Shit, I'm still at this fucking job, bro.
It
Shit,
said
you got it.
Philippians 3 and 13. It says, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do." It's wait, my bad fact. I'm gonna start at 12. It says, "Not as though I had already attained." Wait, dang it. I'm gonna start at 10. It says, "That I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering, being made comfortable unto his death, if by any means I might obtain unto the resurrection of the dead." It says, "Not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after that, if I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Hamashiach Yahushua." Right, and that's the what we're fighting for, man. We're not moving in this thing as if we already had got the victory. We're not moving in this thing as if we're already saved, but no, we're following after the Lord, trying to apprehend this thing, man. We understand that many are called, but few are chosen. Right now, we're in the interview process, man. Nobody knows who has gotten the job yet. None of us know who we are, so we're doing the things in order to pretty much show us best fit to be a candidate for this opportunity, right? So you can't be moving in this truth as if you already got your crown. You can't be moving in this truth if you already got the kingdom, because at the end of the day, we're still in bondage right now, man. We're still in servitude right now. Right, we're still in this weak flesh. So how can you say that you've already apprehended? How can you say that you're already saved, as the Christians would say? It says 3 and 13, Philippians. It says, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before." All right, so we're not worried about the sins that happened yesterday. We're not worried about the affairs of what's going on now or the things behind us, man. We're only pressing towards this mark. Right. One of the things which we had just said at camp the other day, and he had pretty much quoted from Master Uguay. Right. We're not worried about yesterday, and we're not worried about tomorrow, but we're worried about today, because today is a present. And that, well, today's a gift, and that's why it's called the present. Right. And I know I didn't say it the correct way that Master Uwe actually said it, but point being, you have to be in the now, man. You have to be focused on what's going on right now. You can't let the sins of yesterday hinder today, and you can't be so caught up in tomorrow where you're letting today go to waste. It says, verse 14, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's what we're doing, man. We're pressing towards the mark. Every day that you wake up with this truth, every day you still wake up with the names, still wake up with the spirit is a blessing, man. It means that you still have the opportunity to get it right. Me and the brother Yawasab yesterday, we kept saying it over and over again. We said we chasing that perfect day. And you have to understand when it says chasing that perfect day, man, it's pretty much saying each day is an opportunity to try to get it right. All right, yeah, you messed up yesterday. Okay, so if I messed up yesterday, what can I do today in order to fix it? So today's a better day than yesterday. So each day is only going to get better, man. And that's why we're saying we're chasing the perfect day.
What's up?
What you got?
James 1 and 12.
James 1 and 12. It says, blessed is the man that endures temptation. When he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
So us trusting in the Lord, waiting on his promise, you know, through this time of temptation, going through the straight day and affliction, just going through straight bullshit, hey, we're gonna get that crown of life if we remain faithful until Yahweh Shemi outside. We're gonna deal whatever, comes our way, because we know the end goal, we know the end game, you know. So we just say, stay prayed up, hold fast to what we have, We got nothing to worry about.
Did we get Hebrews 12 and 1?
Nah, we got Hebrews 10 and 35.
Yeah, let me get Hebrews 12 and 1. It says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. All right. And as mighty it says is because you can't you're not going to run long in a race if you're running with baggage. If you're having certain things on your mind, you're having certain things weighing you down, you're going to gas out. Right. So you have to roll with the spirit, man. Yes, you're going to have bad days. Yes, you're going to have good days. But you can't let the bad days outweigh the good days. And you can't let the good days get you so high-minded that you forget about the bad days, if you see what I'm saying. Because they go and it's all about balancing this thing, man. That's why it's a bad thing when you make mistakes, but it also helps you because it keeps you humble and understanding at the end of the day, you still need the Lord. Right. And it's still showing that you still need work. But when you start getting too many good days and like I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but it's pretty much in the aspect of you start getting high-minded, like you're perfect in a way, or you're better than the next man, or these things of such. It says, looking into Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne Yahweh. Right. And this is the marking the perfect man. This is an example, man. All right. The Lord, he showed us how to do it, man. He did the same thing. He endured his race, and now he's been crowned. Right. And so now we've entered into his labors, and we're trying to do the same thing, right? To be joint heirs with the Lord, man. But in order to be joint heirs with the Lord, we have to run our race, man. We have to go through our what's it called? I guess you want to say like a humiliation ritual, or no, slot, better word, rites of passage. Right? We have to go through our rites of passage in order to be crowned, man, to be proven. So I'll get 2 Timothy 2. I have to. Yeah, anything else?
Not right now.
Yeah. It's a 2 Timothy 4 and 7. It says, I have fought a good fight, I have finished my course, I have kept the faith. It says, henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love is appearing. right? And this is the spirit that we want to be in, man. Now, he said, I have finished my course. He said, I have fought a good fight. And this is right before he's about to get his victory, man. But this is the spirit that we're supposed to be in, right? We have to fight that good fight, man. We have to finish our course. And through all these different things, hey, keep the faith. The Lord had already told us, I believe it was in the book of Second Esdras, right? Let me see. It's a lot. Second Esdras 2:1. It said, no, it wasn't Second Esdras. I think it's Ecclesiasticus 2:1. I'm gonna get it real quick. It says Ecclesiasticus 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Make not haste in the time of trouble. Right. The Lord already told us that we were gonna have to go through temptation. He said there's some strange thing happened to thee. The Lord warned us that these things are gonna happen, man. But it's important that you set your heart aright and you constantly endure through anything that comes your way, man. Understanding in one of my favorite scripts, Philippians 4:13, says, I could do all through Yahweh Mashiach who strengthens me. So through the Lord and through his spirit and through these truth that he's given us, we can overcome all of these things, man. We can overcome ourselves. But you have to believe these things. You have to have faith that the Lord can help you with these things. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. It says, whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou change to a lower state. Right. So when you're changed to a lower state, cleave unto the Lord, man, because he says when we are weak, he is made strong. Right. And we can't depart away. Don't let these things get you so far to the point where you pretty much curse the Lord and be done with the truth. Don't let these things, don't let Satan get you out of your square, man, off your pivot to the point where you fall out this truth. All right. All these different things are just meant to help you. And it's also meant to show how much you really need the Lord. Okay. So let me see if I had anything else.
Yeah, I ain't had nothing.
Actually, I know what I want to end off with. End off on a high note, not a low. Bear with us. It says 2 Esdras 2:42. Esdras saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. In the midst of them was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest. Upon every one of their heads he set crowns and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. He says, so I asked the angel, says, Sir, what are these? Right. And Esdras has saw a future vision foretold of what's to come. Right. And so far, breaking this down, that young man was Yahweh Shah, and he was crowned his elect. He was crowned as 144,000, man. Those men that
I'll be
stood so
back.
those men that stood so stiffly for the Lord, man. Right. These are those men who ran their course and overcame it, man. Right. They didn't give up. They didn't lay down their crown. They didn't go back to the world. No, they took it on the chin and bared their cross. And they helped their brothers, man. It says, so I asked the angel, says, Sir, what are these? He answered me and said to me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Right. And this is that crowning ceremony, man. This is when, Lord willing to be of that number, we get beamed up, man. And we become joint heirs with the Lord, and we've been crowned for completing the race, man. Overcoming. So these are the things that you should be keeping your mind on, man. These are the things that should be in your forefront. Because it says, with no vision, where there is no vision, the people perish. But the Lord has given us the opportunity to have this vision, man. He's giving us something to strive for. He's giving us something to have hope in. Starting being and having hope in him. Right? Because through him, this is how we're able to receive all these different things, man. You have to understand, you have to give that praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, man. Without him, none of this stuff would be possible. Without him, we wouldn't even have this opportunity right now. It says 46. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them and giving them palms in their hands? So he answered and said it to me, it is the son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to command them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. All right. And who is confessing the Lord right now, man? Truly the brothers of GMS, man. We're the ones that's pushing the 100% truth. We're the ones that's pushing the name of the Lord and His Son. All right. So, Lord willing, once again, let me see something. I'm going ahead and end it on that. Lord willing, this video was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory again to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. I want to say Shalom Akim. I want to say Kwam Yasharak, Salakia. I want to give double honors again to the Apostle Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. I want to say Shalom Akim, Kwam Yasharallah, Abab Abal, Chemotherapy 2026, man, soon.